My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Slay the Spire. I've already done the daily run for today, so what, pray tell, am I going to be doing for this video? I'm going to be starting to do some of the challenges that have been suggested in the comments section, elicited at the very end of my final Ascension run for the Ironclad. I will, again, provide an elicitation. If you have any challenge runs you'd like to see me do in the game, just put them in the comment section down below, but make sure to include the phrase challenge run so that I can just search the comments in order to find just that. This one in particular is going to be the most suggested one. It has been suggested by Christian Berthelsen, Zacharias's, and Ashton H. This is THICC Deck Daddy. Anytime I get the option to take a card, I must take one. No skipping available. So, who would be better at doing this? I think the Ironclad would be better at doing this. Better energy manipulation, better draw manipulation. Now, no level of Ascension nor character was suggested for this. So, this is going to be kind of difficult. But at the same rate, I like Ascension level 1. I actually think it's better because there's more elites that spawn more often. So, if you do end up with a powerful build, you can just hunt them in order to get a bunch of relics. So I'm going to try and do this one on Ascension level 1. Alright, show me what we've got as options. Remove 2 cards. That's going to be handy, because I have to pick a card at every single opportunity, so the only way I'm going to keep my deck thin is by removing as many cards as possible. Let's go. 1 strike, 1 defend. Thank you. It's going to be really difficult to find a build that will work. Okay, if I go up this line, I'm actually... If I take the first elite, I have to take another elite immediately afterwards, which is a bit rough. There's this line, which has a rest, and then I can choose a second elite. And then I can choose a third. Alright. Seems good. Seems good. So, the opening for this is going to be very similar to pretty much every other run. Where it is going to differ is in finding an archetype that is more resilient against, how will I explain this? Fuckery. Against just card fuckery. Because if my archetype, for example, ends up being, I'm not going to do this archetype, but if it ended up being like Rampage, how am I going to make a build that will compensate for the fact that I just put a Rampage in my deck? For example, if I was going to make a strength build, I can't make it into a build that uses limit break for all of my strength gain, because how many times am I going to draw limit break? I'm going to have a like 40, 45 card deck. So out of these, I actually kind of want to start taking a lot of exhaust options. So to have a way to keep my deck thin despite putting a bunch of cards in my deck, and I know that kind of goes against the spirit of the run, but I'm breaking the run in this way. Which, if you've been with the channel for a period of time, you'll know is one of my favorite things to do ever in any situation, and that is to find the thing that breaks the intended sequence, like sequence breaking, or ooh, that's gonna be a shockwave there. Like sequence breaking in games to do speed runs and stuff like that, or especially in roguelikes, being able to break the game so you are infinitely powerful and nothing can ever stop you. Again, we'll remove another card here. This one's going to be a strike. Find a relic? Sure. Matroshka. The next 2 chests you open contain 2 relics. Can't wait. Nothing was determined about what I have to do in terms of shops. In any of the 3 comments I mentioned, in fact. Dramatic Entrance is nice, but I don't think it's enough damage to really care about taking. Double Tap is the closest here because it works with so much stuff. Alright, I will take a Double Tap. It's too powerful a card to turn down there. Speaking of being too powerful a card to turn down, we'll upgrade it as well. Ooh, this is difficult. Double Tap Bash, 4 turns of vulnerability. It's just I kind of want to use the Shockwave, but the Shockwave deals no damage. It would put weakness on the enemy for a while, but No, I think I'm better served by putting extra vulnerability on so that I can go for the kill as fast as possible. Ouch. Ooh, 21. Okay, these are 9 each, so 9 is 37? 36, sorry. Maximum damage I can deal this turn. Although I'd have to use the double tap. My next hand is not extremely aggressive, so I actually do need to go for this to have an option to kill him next turn. Thankfully, I can use Reaper in my next hand to get a little bit of healing before ending a fight. Ginger, you can no longer become weakened. Great relic. Great relic to pick up. Now, none of these exhaust themselves, but double tap headbutt is really, really good because even in a large deck, that will allow you to manipulate the top of your deck. It allows you to manipulate your next draw. If you double tap a headbutt, you can put the headbutt back on top and then the double tap back on top. And you can use that to effectively get a free double tap, free quote unquote, every turn because it does cost you still 2 energy, but you're still dealing a significant amount of damage as well. If I want to go for this elite, then this is going to have to be a rest. All right, let's rest. Now, cards like Apotheosis and Armaments are going to be much more powerful than we would typically think in a thick deck daddy kind of situation. And a lot of the reasoning for that is going to be, it's going to be difficult to upgrade all of the cards that we put in our deck. So any option to upgrade them on the fly is going to be particularly helpful. Red Skull, when you are at or below 50 HP, you have 3 additional strength. That works really well with Reaper, because you want the full heal from Reaper when you're on low health, and it gives you the extra strength to make Reaper heal you a lot more, only when you're on low health. And Frozen Egg, whenever you add a power to your deck, it is upgraded. That is really handy as well, because it now means that anytime I encounter a power, I can just take that and have an upgraded card included in my deck as a result. Unfortunately, Reaper here doesn't really do that much. Like, I wanted to double tap the Reaper, but instead Reaper defense actually is way better. Damn, curl up. Ah, rough. There was no way to split damage there whilst also killing. Double tap headbutt. Beautiful. Here we'll take a Warcry. Again, it's about trying to keep my deck thin despite taking a card in every single option. That's not always going to be an available path for us, by the way. So if you think that's kind of going against the spirit of this, you'll see that later on, I won't have the choice not to go against the spirit of it. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to bash headbutt and then put the double tap bash in my next hand as well. I'm also going to drink a strength potion. So we're just accepting damage in this fight, pretty much. I'd love to double tap Reaper, but that's a thing that we'll do later on in this fight. I believe we might get the opportunity to do that. Let's put Reaper on top. So now I'm just really hoping to draw double tap in this hand, which we did. Beautiful. And we were below half HP there for the first cast of that, so Red Skull was active. Pretty much anything will kill next turn, and we got a significant amount of healing. I'm pretty pleased about that. Bag of Marbles. At the start of each combat, apply 1 vulnerability to all enemies. That is really handy. And as I said before, Armaments is going to be a particularly powerful card in this deck, so we'll take a copy. I could take Purity to try and thin the deck out while I'm fighting, although that's difficult to justify. Is it? Yeah, it is difficult to justify because the deck is still just going to be filled with a lot of other trash. So here we'll just be taking card removal service, remove the strike. I am going to need to spend a moment to upgrade Armaments here. All right. Well, at the very least, they're all lacking vulnerability now. I'm actually going to use the Strength Potion here as well, because I don't want to lose too much HP. No, I'm thinking about later Ascension levels where this would actually be important. It's not important here to have done that. Alright, with this upgraded, I would actually kill that sentry. So I get to Armaments Bash, which is effectively just a little bit of defense. I was otherwise looking at Double Tap Bash, but this also leaves a lot more upgraded cards in my deck. Alright. Now, Corruption synergies are also pretty important. Things that I should probably keep an eye out for. Reaper, sure. Because those Corruption synergies are going to be another way for me to try and fill my deck with trash and then just burn it during a fight and still get a lot of value out of it. Beautiful. Singing Bowl. When adding cards to your deck, you may instead gain 2 max HP. So that, for me, is a dead relic that does nothing. It is so difficult to prevent myself from just hitting that button. I've actually got my hand off the mouse to try and prevent myself from doing that. There we go. Move it away with my palm. I could use Burning Pact as a curate, as a draw as well to try and get through my deck. But I think I have to take Cleave here as some AoE because save Reaper, and we don't really use Reaper as AoE. We don't really have AoE. So we'll take a Cleave. Alright, we're gonna have to go with Smithing. Smith Shockwave, because we'll always use that. Yikes. I'm not sure I want my draw lowered for the next 2 turns. Yeah, let's not do that. I'm going to drink this artifacting potion to prevent the card draw lowering. If I had another 1 energy attack in my hand, I would do the 1 energy attack in the headbutt, but here it's only responsible to do the double bash. Alright. Accepting 35. I'm now below half HP. Maximum damage I can do is the double tap headbutt strike. And set up my next turn using that as well. That's kind of handy. Now we'll put the double tap back on top. Put the headbutt back on top. And then double strike there as well. Unfortunately, we haven't got easy access at the very least. Oh, double tap cleave. Cool. Unfortunately, we didn't have easy access to a ability to bring Reaper back, but that's not necessary. We actually full heal at the end of the floor. I keep forgetting about that. I really do want to limit break in this deck, I gotta be honest with you. Because we're heavily incentivized to pick up strength-related things. Second Reaper is good, but we don't... Like, the second Reaper gets better when I have extra strength. I'm going to take a limit tap. Not good. This is less good. This is extremely less good. I'm mad. Alright. I want one of the energy relics because I'm going to have a lot of cards. Like, for example, the amount of times that I've had a double tap and I wanted to play double tap plus a 2 mana attack and a 1 mana attack is insane. And that's only just happened. And Shockwave is also in our hands, and we've got armaments we want to play before we play other things. So a lot of the time, I am going to want 4 energy. And it looks like the only way I'm going to be able to do that was with Ectoplasm. Because with Velvet Choker, if I play double tap and then I play 2 attacks after it, that is 5 cards. So that means that things like Offering... Things like Warcry would put me over that limit. You know what? No, we'll take the Velvet Choker. I'm gonna need my gold so that I can actually curate my deck at shops. The other option is Black Blood. It's an upgrade to Burning Blood. It would have healed 10 HP at the end of our combat instead of 6. We already have a healing engine in our deck. We don't really need that. I'm going to need to value camps a little higher than I typically would. Oh, yes. Double tap the bash. Then double tap the headbutt to put the headbutt. And the double tap and rather... Actually, the headbutt back on top of the deck. As long as I've got a 1 energy attack, I might actually be able to just dunk. Alright, I don't have a 1 energy attack here. Now I do. We actually reached our limit with the Velvet Choker there, by the way. Really? Oh, come on. That's super lame. I didn't even have another damage in there. Never mind. It's not the game's fault. It's my fault. This heals me for 6. Blocking would have defended me for 3. Right, so... This option at least also deals damage. Havoc is another way to keep the deck thin. Thunderclap is a little bit more AoE. It works really well with double tap as well. Take that. I'm actually going to use Reaper super early here. Just to get it out of my deck. Armaments, double tap bash. 7 turns of vulnerability. Let's see if I have the ability to kill you in time. My whole next hand is just going to be dazed. Whew. Thankfully, the enemy's not doing anything this turn, so I'm let off the hook. Well, damn. Time to take some damage. Double tap that headbutt for lethal, only if I use the armaments first. Doesn't matter what I put back on top there. Seeing Red. Again, purges itself out of my deck, and it will give us some extra energy, but the problem with getting extra energy in this deck is Velvet Choker is going to punish me for playing Seeing Red. Because I would upgrade Seeing Red. Seeing Red costs 0, gain 2 energy, so I'm probably going to play at least 1 or 2 more cards using Seeing Red. In which case, if I play 2 cards after it, that's 3 cards. And then I've still got 4 energy to play another 3 cards with. Like, it's... Especially since Double Tap is in my deck, this is less powerful. I think I'll take the upgraded True Grit here. Again, it's about curating things on the fly. Alright, this is almost certainly going to be Shockwave Cleave Headbutt, but let's see what the Warcry draws us. Nothing good. The answer there. I didn't need to put that Cleave back on top of my deck, actually. It did end up helping out, but wasn't necessary. Reaper Strike because there's no reason not to. I do need something that is going to give me, at base, some level of... Hang on. There we go. Some level of strength, and not have to wait until I'm down to half HP, because the limit break isn't going to do anything until we reach such a point. Speaking of limit break, there's another one. I really want to take it. I gotta be honest with you. But we do have double tap, so I'll take Infernal Blade. Remove another card from my deck. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, I would really like the red mask, because then everyone's gonna start every turn vulnerable and sad. Yes, this is why I wanted the Infernal Blade, because I have double tap. because now I can double tap a 0 cost following it. Although this is going to put me severely over the limit. Oh, crumbs. Uh-oh. Yeah, I should kill you. As much as I could have gone for the backliner to prevent the 9 damage there, the frontliner is the one that does the majority of the damage after that. Red mask at the start of each combat, apply 1 weak to all enemies. Now, between that and the bag of marbles, I'm going to be able to remove most artifacting from most anyone I encounter just using that. Here we could take another armaments, because the deck is going to get a lot thicker, so having another armaments to upgrade the rest of the cards that I happen to encounter is kind of handy. Yeah, I do need to deal some damage, so I'll take 10 there. Double tap Thunderclap Headbutt's really good. Let's put that double tap back on top. And the headbutt, sure. True Grit that defend. Hell yeah. All's good. Probably double tap headbutt and double tap the headbutt and the bash here. Put the double tap back on top. Put the headbutt back on top. This is the exact same type of thing that I was talking about as soon as I saw this combo. This is what I wanted to do with it. Infernal Blade. All right. Double tap. Twin Strike. Double tap the headbutt. Put the double tap and the Reaper back on top. Do I want to prevent 15 damage using a bomb? Yeah. 15's pretty big. Meat on the Bone. If your HP is at or below 50% at the end of combat, heal 12 HP. Between that and the Burning Blood, we'll be healing 18 if we are at 40 or below, which puts us in like a reasonable, sustainable period. But on top of that, Red Skull makes me more powerful when I'm below that amount of HP. So now I might want to think about trying to get below that amount of HP. I had the immediate reaction where I was like, max HP, but I can't do that. It has to be Thunderclap. We're not a defensive build. Gambling Chip. At the start of each combat, discard as many cards as you'd like and then draw that many. And Runic Dodecahedron. If your HP is full, gain energy at the start of each turn. Both of those are really, really helpful pickups for us. We'll upgrade this other armament. Happy Flower. Every 3 turns, gain an energy. Hell yes. We're getting a lot of energy manipulation, which is making me feel a lot worse about my pickup of the Velvet Choker, but I'm hoping everything goes fine. Fingers crossed. Leave, Thunderclap, and Perfected Strike. I will actually do as much block here as I can. I could have put myself below half HP there. That actually would have helped. That's my bad. Reaper, Headbutt to get a Cleave back to the top of the deck. Because I know that my next hand is... assuming it's not the bottom card of the deck. Yeah, my next hand is going to have a double tap. It's another armaments. Nice. So it's probably just armaments, double tap cleave. Warcry, see if I get an attack. I didn't. Easy. Juzu Bracelet. Regular enemy combats are no longer encountered in question mark rooms. Now, I happen to know that the majority of question mark rooms don't give you a card choice when they're not enemy combats. So if I want to avoid filling this deck with way too much stuff, I can just go to question mark rooms. This is completely going against the spirit of this. Hemokinesis is actually a lot of damage. It will invalidate Runic Dodecahedron a lot of the time, but it'll get me closer to being able to trigger Red Skull and Meat on the Bone. So it's definitely something to consider. I'm going to take the second copy of Reaper. I have 2 Thunderclaps in my deck and a bunch of a single double tap, and I've even got Shockwave. So I have a lot of ways to activate Sadistic Nature. Other than that, I could upgrade to random... No, it's always remove. It's always remove and then something else here. I'm just worried about, is it Rage? Is it Corruption? I mean, it could be Corruption. But then this deck doesn't have that many attacks in it. And I'm not benefiting from the things that I burn. I think it's nothing right now. We're going to be going for 2 more elites. Because I'm that kind of cocky asshole. I'll also drop that Reaper for right now. I'm just looking for double tap. There it is. Okay. Unfortunately, I wasn't even going to be able to cast that twice. Courtesy of the Velvet Choker. Burn and defend out of my deck, try and get to our double taps more quickly. We should go Shockwave, Thunderclap, and then Headbutt, because I do just need to remove at least one of you from the field. And that puts another Thunder Wave back on top of my deck. You're going to attack next turn anyway. Burn that Heavy Blade. Hey, there we go. Double tap the Reaper first. Well, wasn't really looking for this outcome. I'm going to burn that Limit Break because it's not actually doing anything for me anymore, and I'm going to start targeting the Gremlin Leader in the back line. Because with a reasonable hand next, we can actually just kill. That's 45 HP. Yeah, we can totally kill with that. Strawberry, raise our max HP by 7, and now we're on full HP as well. So the Runic Dodecahedron is going to start activating. Sever Soul is another way to burn cards out of my hand, and since it's upgraded already, it is a little bit more appealing. I gotta be admitting that. Entrench is a way to help out my defense, but that's not what this deck does. This deck kills. This gigantic deck kills. Let's go with the Sever Soul. I can hardly call it gigantic when it's 19, but I have picked every single card, TYVM, so... The only reason it's not gigantic is not my fault. This is another 30. Brutalized. Alright. If I double Limit Break here, I start the next turn with an extra energy. Bash. Worry about lowering its health more than I have to worry about anything else. Ah, Sever Soul. Beautiful. I was about to say I need to start worrying about getting some card draw in this deck, courtesy of like a Pommel Strike would be great. I just need AoE, so it's throw everything back, I'm afraid. I want to Armament Shockwave Cleave, but I'd also Shockwave Cleave Sever Soul. So we'll do that. Burns 2 cards out of my deck. Sure, I take some damage, but... Reaper! That would have been so much better if we got Reaper there. This one double tap. Beautiful. Then we're just going to casually turn the microphone off so that I can sneeze. Sure. Double Reapers. Easy. Mercury Hourglass at the start of your turn. Deal 3 damage to all enemies. Great pickup. Upgraded uppercut. Even better. It's a great way to apply weakness. We already have the red mask to apply weakness as well as the shockwave. But if those kinds of things are rejected by artifacting, I'm thinking of like Dono and Decker next floor. I'm thinking of like the Spherical Guardians. Then it's going to be nice to have another way to apply weakness. Let's smith another card here. Pommel Strike, I want the draw. Okay. Shockwave Sever Soul as an opener is not horrible. We're not going to be using Wild Strike at all. Really can't afford to do that to myself. Okay. Let's see here. Leave Headbutt, but do I want to put the Sever Soul back on top? I really do, actually. I will go with a Reaper here. It's possible I end up below half HP, so I'll leave the Limit Break in my deck for the moment. And this is why I wanted to put that back in my deck. The Sever Soul, that is, so that I could get a lot of damage there. Let's True Grit that Wild Strike out and uppercut here. So more of my defense comes from weakening my enemy than it actually comes from me having defensive cards in my deck. Or what people would colloquially refer to as block. Because I appear to be burning, like, all of the block out of my deck quite actively. A lot of that's because I can't play more than 6 cards, so if I am playing all of my block, then I'm leaving so little room after that to attack. It's a lot of damage. Alright, let's see what we can do about it. Sever Soul, Headbutt, that's crumbs. Let's put that double tap back there because then I can just double tap my next card, which I happen to know is a uppercut. Uh-oh. It's alright, we'll be fine. Double tap the uppercut and the Reaper. Give myself enough HP to survive that hit. Really? Yikes. Taking no turns off, my dude. Two extra energy. Another double tap in this deck is a great idea. It's probably too late for feed. I don't defend well enough to use a Philostone, and especially on top of that, a lot of the time here, I am going to be really, really sad that I can't play all of my cards using a Philostone. The Philostone, by the way, is all enemies start with 2 strength, gain an extra energy at the start of each turn. There's also Runic Pyramid. At the end of your turn, you no longer discard your hand, draw 1 fewer cards each turn. And Question Card. On card reward screens, choose from 4 cards instead of 3. That's going to give us a greater chance to get something non-garbage. This deck is going to bloat very quickly over the course of this floor. Unfortunately. AoE is not a good keep here. Let's headbutt that uppercut back to the top of the deck there. Really need a way to get some starting strength. They're only going to become better at defending themselves, so if I'm ever going to attack, it has to be, like, right now. Use both of my Reapers, as long as I'm defended this turn. And I am. I can just wait. These kinds of fights were always going to be the worst for us. Disarm is just an incredible card. Depends who our boss is at the end, as well. Yep, Disarm is a great card against them. The Awakened one. Alright, 2 Madness. Do I put them in my deck? I think the spirit of this would ask that I do. Rough. Not really the kind of thing I was hoping to see here. A lot of the time I don't block on my turn, so an Orichalcum is actually a pretty good pickup for us. And then we'll remove a Bash. We've got a lot of other sources of vulnerability in the deck, and Bash is just a bit expensive for what it does. Hey, double tap Thunderclap, what's up? We're just gonna throw back everything that's not AoE right now. Yeah. Double tap Thunderclap. And I'm bound to do the Reaper here. It's just a lot of healing. Then Orichalcum comes in clutch. Oh, damn. We're not going to be using Fiend's Fire here, though. This is really reliant on drawing a card that I don't even have in my deck right now. Right. Kill you. Got 2 more that I get to cast. Rough. Well, best I could do right there. Finish off with a... Would have been really lovely there to finish off with a Reaper. Don't want everything to respawn, though. For the sake of being able to get some strength in my deck, I'm going to take an Inflame here. It also immediately upgrades itself from the Frozen Egg. So that makes that choice a much less painful one. Madness, a lot of the time, is just going to be a card that I avoid. Let's double tap the Pommel Strike to see if we can get something better. Not really, no. At least I can't be weakened. Inflame, uppercut. And then I don't even play Armaments or Defend because the Orichalcum's going to defend me for more. I could have done it with the Armaments because the enemy was weakened there. That's my bad. Yeah, I could have done that. Limit Break. Alright. Yeah, but double tap back to the top of the deck is one of the most valuable things that I can do. Give myself an extra energy next turn by using a Reaper there preemptively. Can we not put all of those options in the same hand? Please? Pretty please? Pretty much exactly the card I didn't want to hit. Shouldn't have played that as well. I would have had 1 more block if I didn't. There's my upgraded Reaper. Find me a double tap, please. Find me a double... Well, you can't say I hadn't tried. Never mind, there wasn't a double tap in there to be found. That would explain why I had so much difficulty finding it. Alright, we'll just finish him off. Dex Potion is really, really, really powerful, despite the fact that we rarely end up using our Dex. Fire Breathing. At the end of your turn, for each attack play, deal 1 damage to all enemies. I'm actually going to take a copy of that. I think that could be quite handy for us. I think now that I have Inflame in my deck, I'll upgrade this Limit Break so that I can start getting some strength going on. I was talking about the Limit Break strength build, specifically saying that it wasn't a good thing that I should be doing, and then I did it anyway. There's no moral to that story. That's just how that went. It's a lot of incoming damage right there. Not pleased about any of that. I should have played that in a different order. I would have been able to defend just slightly more. That is to play armaments before I played any of the other defensive cards. Sever Soul's quite handy here, in fact. Not only gets a kill, but it also allows me to burn that burn out of my deck. Below half HP, don't mind if I do. Break. Heal a hell of a lot, and then kill. Prayer Wheel. Non-boss chests now also contain cards, which I am also going to have to take, so yay. We could take Second Wind here as a clutch way to get some cards out of my deck, but also to gain some block. Or I could take Rage. Now, anytime I double tap something, if I play Rage first, I'm actually going to get a reasonable amount of defense for myself. Alright. We're going to upgrade the Disarm, because over the course of a prolonged fight, that's actually going to be particularly powerful. Kunai, whenever you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 dex. That works with our deck quite a lot. Feel no pain. Alright, how many exhausts do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4 ongoing, 5 ongoing, 6, 7, 8. I think we take a Feel No Pain. No! We take a Sword Boomerang because the prolonged fights are going to result in us having a reasonable amount of strength. Okay. Show me Inflame. It's going to be difficult to show me Inflame when it's not there. Good gosh. Uppercut, Sever Soul, get myself 12 block. Not bad, not bad. Thank you, Rage. I've got 2 double taps available in there. Let's get that Rage back on top of the deck. And here I actually will play all of my defensive cards. Rage, Fire Breathing, double tap a Sword Boomerang. Double tap Reaper, double tap Reaper, double tap Reaper? Oh. Well, we did get Rage again. Inflame. Madness, either of you. Alright, I prevent 7 damage here if I now throw a Fire Potion, but I also rob myself of the opportunity to use Reaper to heal up right now. Right now. Well, I tried. Again, I tried to skip there. We don't have enough draw to sustain just a deck that uses just Anger. Otherwise, our hand will eventually just be Anger, and there's nothing we can do at that point. I think here I actually do take a copy of Shrug It Off. Get some defense in my deck that can benefit from the Kunai. We'll dodge this final elite because we're on 53 right now, and all it takes is for that elite to be particularly horrible, and there's nothing we would be able to do as a result. I only played 2 attacks this turn, right? So I think I'm actually getting attacked twice here. Yeah. That's rough. I was really hoping I was going to be able to kill them with the AoE. That said, I only took 6 damage there, so that's fine. We'll double tap the Reaper. And the Wild Strike, although it only costs once. It's definitely Thunderclap, Uppercut, Cleave. Double tap the Headbutt and the Thunderclap and we've got kill. Beauty. Regen Potion's probably more powerful than an Energy Potion because an Energy Potion oftentimes is going to run up against Velvet Choker for us. Flex is probably a good pickup. Oh, another Shrug It Off? Yeah, give myself some defensive options, sure. Should likely upgrade this double tap as well. On the red mask for 222 gold. Please be a shop. It's not a shop. Fight for a relic here? I actually don't think so. But we're gonna do it. Let's throw the let's keep the Reaper. Cleave, rather. Mid on the bones. Start this. Start this. Alright, let's not put those dazed in our deck. I'm using the regen potion just in case after this I end up with another potion. Playing a defend here is actually a bad idea. Would have been defended against less. This is what I'm worried about. Hands like this that are actively run against by having the Velvet Choker. I didn't really get that many expensive options after I got the Velvet Choker, unfortunately, which is what I really would have wanted. Ice Cream. Energy is now conserved between turns. Not really going to be that helpful for us, unfortunately. I will take another disarm here, though. Just going to rest before we go into the final fight. 31 card deck. I mean, it's reasonably unlike me. Double tap a Pommel Strike. And a double tap Cleave is pretty good as well. Throwing a Fire Potion here will guarantee that that cultist is dead. Alright, now it's just you and me, buddy. Pretty sure I have no other powers in my deck as well, so I can now just run all of my debuffs on you. I just don't want that defend hit by the madness, because the other two I'm going to keep in my deck. Obviously, I should have used my Dex Potion slightly earlier. My apologies. Unfortunately, it doesn't affect Rage. That sucks. Alright, we'll Limit Break. Double tap. The upgraded Thunderclap. I do want my other disarm as soon as possible as well, though. Please hit uppercut. Sever Soul's also a good target. I do want to put uppercut in my next hand if available. It is. Okay. Seems good. Beautiful amount of damage there. Armaments on this hand is not bad at all. I don't like that all of my defensiveness was available in the same hand. Because it means that, yeah, I've not got much defense for the rest of this deck. Alright, let's double tap Thunderclap. Sorry, double tap the Headbutt. Put the Uppercut back on top as well. Primary reason for that is so that my next... I don't need that cleave in my deck anymore, so I'll burn it. Is so that my next hand has a double tap Uppercut so that I can weaken my enemy for a bunch of turns. And I'll double tap this Reaper as well. Got myself a full heal there. Alright, 24 incoming. Another disarm. Very late limit break, but okay. I will double tap the sword, just because it's so damn important. That's the primary method of my damage dealing, since I didn't put a heavy blade in this deck. Double tap sword boomerang. We win. Alright. Simply by taking every opportunity to remove as many cards from my deck as possible, I was able to pick up every single time and totally invalidate the bonus of the Singing Bowl, grumble, 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 and still win. That has been not a particularly high scoring run, but a successful run nonetheless. THICC Deck Daddy refused to turn down any cards. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. That's been the Ironclad. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we will see you tomorrow for the next daily and challenge afterwards. I'm planning on doing one daily and one challenge a day. Adios.